Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the quick update over at the situation at the Battle of Bakhmut. And the most important thing that happened is actually the Ukrainians have launched a major offensive operation south of Bakhmut, on the western part of Klishchiivka. So this is Klishchiivka, the small town with a hilltop with major entrenchment on the hilltop. The Ukrainian forces have launched a major counteroffensive in this direction. Apparently, this is preceded with bombardments on the Russian positions, and then they actually attack through with tanks and armored vehicles, infantry fighting vehicles, and whatnot. Allegedly, one of the Russian forces that was actually holding in the line, allegedly withdrawn from the position. Kind of like run away because maybe the offensive is quite scary. And however, this is not entirely corroborated in a way, like they did not actually run away and form a new defensive line, or they give up the entire place. It's not true. The Russians continue to be fighting within this area here, mainly along this canal. So you can see there's this canal here. See this canal, so it's mainly along the canal. And so as the Ukrainians attack, Ukrainians attack, the first line of defense withdraw, the Russian forces continue to fight. They continue to hold the line, and they are fighting. And one of this force that, or maybe the only force that was fighting here, is actually the Wagner forces. So the Wagner forces actually sent into the front line and then try to hold back the Ukrainians. Apparently, both sides used tremendous number of artillery. The Wagner shot them. The Ukrainians fire back, and reportedly a lot of casualties is being reported. So information coming from Deep State UA reported this. Based on footages that they have saw of the Ukrainians attacking the Russian forces. And apparently they say that this is the position of the 72nd Motorized Infantry Brigade. I believe this is also the one that is rumored, complained by Prigozhin to have withdrawn from their positions, and the Wagner forces replaced them in their positions. Remilin kind of explained that this is, based on his sources, the Wagner is the one that is now currently preventing the Ukrainian breakthrough. And the reports that the Ukrainians have a bridgehead over at the western part of Klishchiivka is not true. The fighting is still ongoing, and he said that according to his word, is heavy and bloody. So the fighting is along the canal and also east of the canal. So basically, he also said that the Wagner forces is the only one fighting on this side of the flank, and they are trying to push back the Ukrainian forces. So, which means that other than the fighting is along this line, where the Ukrainians are trying to push in, there's probably some of the Ukrainian forces that already crossed over and managed to probably have some kind of breakthrough, while the Russian forces is still trying to hold back, mainly the Wagner forces. The fighting, tentatively, based on the latest information that I have seen, is still ongoing. So this is actually pretty big, and this is actually, funnily, what I predicted regarding how the Ukrainians will do their massive pincer around the Wagner forces. If you have missed that video, I'll put the link at the end of this video. You can check it out and see whether it makes sense or not. Would that actually happen? The Russian forces also reportedly been fighting or attacking Stuposhki, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, and at Ivaniske. And also there's not much fighting around, not much ground offensive operations being mentioned or reported in this northern flank. Remilin did say that the forces here is actually a mix between Russian units and the Wagner forces. They are making incremental slow progress along the northern front, and then within the Bakhmut city itself, the fighting is still ongoing within the Olympic School. and the fighting is also ongoing within the Peremorha cinema region. So at the Peremorha, this is the Peremorha cinema. The Russian forces has crossed over the road, and they are now fighting within the within this high-rise building area around this area of the cinema region. And then in the northwest part of the front line within Bakhmut city, the fighting is ongoing within here, within the Olympic school, wrong color, Olympic school. And according to Kremlin, the information, they are also pushing towards the Ukrainian last line of defense, which is actually here. This is the so-called last line of defense. The fighting is still ongoing. According to Kremlin's information, which is a pro-Russian source, by the way, every attack is preceded with a major artillery strike before they actually move in. So this is according to his information, they say that this is how they try to minimize casualties. And perhaps this is also somewhat corroborates what Prigozhin say. The lack of ammunition, ammo, the shells for the artillery actually cause higher casualties because they cannot flatten the ground or lay the groundwork for the ground assault forces to proceed with maximum advantage. So this probably why the Prigozhin was complaining and he was almost crying about this. So and then there's also some interesting information that the Wagner forces has been some of those that have been rotated out has been redeployed, but not into Bakhmut itself. Still within the Bakhmut front, they are fighting in this area around Minkivka, around the Minkivka region, and also in the north here towards Fedorivka and Rozdolivka. But particularly at Rozdolivka, they seem to have some kind of progress. So this is kind of unusual. Similarly, this information is coming from Kremlin because everybody just don't want to talk about Bakhmut. Only Kremlin is talking about it. So that's the only source. So as you can see, Kremlin 21. So anyway, this is the quick update over at the Bakhmut front with the Ukrainians trying to launch this massive southern flanking offensive, and this would probably leads to some kind of attack into the rear of Wagner forces if the Russian lines at this flank does not hold. Anyway, thank you for watching, and do press the like button, subscribe if you are new to this channel, and for those that are unsubscribed, please subscribe. And for those that are subscribed, check the button, make sure that it's actually subscribed, because you might actually get confused or you might get unsubscribed by our enemy, YouTube shadow banning unit. And I'll see you in the next update.